Hi Bears, it's Bear. I couldn't find this filter. I thought I was gonna have to hook some weird Disney princess today. Thank God. That could have been really tragic. I wouldn't normally do vloggy videos, but I did a massive grocery shop today, which is unusual for me. And I spend less on food than anyone I know. I don't normally vlog for the podcast or YouTube because I don't want to try and dictate that anyone should live my life. But I guess I could demystify how I managed to manage my money as a money vlogger and podcaster. And then maybe the only way to do that is to share a bit more of what I buy and don't buy. I also just stopped making so much content about food because I know some people find that kind of triggering. I might start a whole separate branch for nutrition and fitness content so that if you don't want to have any of that stuff at all in your feed, I understand. But today I'll share what I got from Lidl. Their vegan range is on offer at the moment, and I'll share at the end what I actually ended up spending. I've already put the frozen veg away. But yeah, let me take you downstairs actually and I'll show you everything. Today definitely demonstrated for me why I don't actually go shopping very often, or try not to, because it just takes up so much time. I was gone half the day. It takes time to get out the house, and then I had to spend way longer than usual actually in Lidl. Okay, first up we have the Mondo vegan pizza. I wouldn't normally bother buying ready-made pizza. I don't think it's usually great value for money. But there's two of these. So they were £1.80 plus the discount. Ignore the bag in the background, which is a different brand from where I got all of this from. Cover your ears if you're on the podcast as well, because I clearly just referred to something that you cannot see. I'm so sorry. I'll repay you somehow. But I was curious to try these, seeing as there was two for £1.80 plus 15% off. And I also think that a lot of the shopping that I did today just reflects that I've been working quite hard lately, and that maybe I am close to burning out, because a lot of what I bought today was convenient. I don't actually know if I'm going to have space for all of this stuff in my freezer, but we will find out. And they had this one as well. Again, I wouldn't normally go for a vegan salami stone-baked pizza, just because vegan cheese, vegan meat, that stuff is just really weird and processed, and the effort that they have to go to in order to try and recreate something that maybe looks like salami probably doesn't taste like salami. It's usually just means that you end up eating a lot of weird ingredients. I was thinking earlier, what classes as a sensible ingredient? If the ingredient looks both ways before it crosses the road, I guess that makes it a sensible ingredient. I saw a really good Instagram post the other day about how to eat clean, and it was just wash your hands before you eat anything. And then I also got these vegan broccoli nuggets. So this is another thing I normally wouldn't bother with, just because it looks processed. It's broccoli, what's the filling? Broccoli and onions in breadcrumbs, and then it has a sweet chili dip inside as well. And I eat a lot of broccoli normally anyway. I do a lot of teriyaki. The broccoli just goes really good in curry seasonings and that sort of thing. They look like the kind of product that you see it once, you like it, and then it immediately gets discontinued. I think this is just something where they're kind of testing out if they can recreate chicken nuggets, but with broccoli, because of course, that's a substitute. So I wouldn't normally go for something processed like this, because it's just normally not very cost effective. You could just make something that has actual broccoli in it. The effort that they have to go to try and turn this into something that looks like a viable foodstuff that you'd actually want to put on your plate. There's usually some wizardry going on, and there is a lot of writing on the side of the packet, which is what I would expect from processed frozen food. I should probably put this stuff away because there's a lot to get through, and it's going to defrost. Okay, so I just reminded myself that the other reason I don't normally like to buy lots of processed frozen foods is because they take up so much space in the freezer. So that was a bit of a battle to kind of organize things. I just find that the box is usually 5 times the size of the actual product, and it just becomes a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, the other thing that I discovered today was one of their waste not, what are they called? Yeah, waste not veg and fruit boxes. So this is a bit of a unicorn item in Lidl. I've been going to Lidl for 2 years now, and I've never successfully been able to find, the one time that they had these boxes, which are basically fruit and veg that's kind of getting towards the end of its life. They're about to retire it from the shelves, and it's just a whole box of random stuff for £1.50. And the only time I've ever seen one, they had 6 lettuces, and I was like, well, not planning to open a restaurant today, so I'm not sure what I would do with that except make lettuce soup. I feel like lettuce soup is one of those things. You see recipes for it, but do you know anyone who actually eats lettuce soup? So today they not only had lots of them, but I think I've done quite well with my one. So I've got a cauliflower, which is going a bit brown, but is still very firm and everything. So I don't mind cooking that tonight. I was about to say I'll cook it and freeze it, but I can't. That was clever. What are these? They're in the orange family. They're not too squidgy. I'm probably destroying some of the audio by rummaging around. Sorry, I'll try and clean that up in post-production. And I've got a melon. They keep you hydrated. What is this? This looks familiar, but I'm not sure. I have to remind myself what that is. That's not something I would normally buy. Spring onions. I would normally do like sweet corn soup with cashew nuts and soy sauce and that sort of thing. But I don't have any sweet corn. They didn't have any sweet corn, even though I raided the freezers because one of the other things that was on offer was frozen vegetables. They've got lots of falafel here and vegan burgers and things, so, and hummus. So I think I can probably do something salad adjacent, even though I didn't really buy any salad. If I don't want to make sweet corn soup, because I can't, because I have no sweet corn, I've got soy sauce. I do stuff quite regularly that's like Asian inspired veggies and toasted cashew nuts. I'm sure I could put spring onions in that. So ordinarily I would say never buy something if you don't know what you're gonna use it to make. I wouldn't normally do that because it's a surefire way to end up wasting something, but I'm 99% sure I can find a use for those. Everything that's in there actually feels and looks pretty good. Okay, and then we get into lots and lots of falafel. So the falafel is all by Gosh. I don't think it's a Lidl own brand because I'm pretty sure you can buy them in other supermarkets. So they do like a variety. Well, I guess this doesn't count as falafel. They look like falafel. So you have Goan cauliflower bites with coconut and chickpea. For all of these, you get 9 balls in a pack. The good thing about all of these is that they're all either ready to eat or to heat them up literally takes less than a minute in the microwave, and you can freeze them as well. If you freeze them, you defrost them, but once you've defrosted them, they're just really, really easy to put together. I'm probably talking through an insane amount of food for one person, but a lot of this is quite long dated, and if it doesn't fit in the freezer. The other thing is that all of these falafel thingies, a portion of those is sort of the same as I would pay for like a Naked bar, a snack Whole Foods bar. I can actually snack on some of this stuff and it will work out about the same value wise. From the Gosh range, I've also got Beetroot Burgers. They were more than I would normally really pay because it works out about £1 per burger. But did I mention earlier that a lot of my shopping today just seemed to reflect that I'm sort of like craving a bit of a change and some convenience, and these you can just pop them in the oven. The burgers, like the falafels and the bakes and stuff, just go nicely with hummus and veggies or salad. Sweet pumpkin and chili bites, Moroccan spice falafel with red pepper and apricot, Moroccan spice bakes with red pepper and apricot. So the recipe's a bit different, but it's similar principle, but they're more like a burger. So again, you get 2 of those in a pack. So they worked out about £1 each. Normally my dinners are like less than £1 for the whole meal. So to spend £1 on a burger and then still have to make up the rest of the plate is a lot of money in my household. And that's how I spend so little on food. We've also got Sagaloo bites with potato and spinach. So that was all of the, oh no, there's one more, veggie cocktail sausages. So I really liked these. They were doing all of this stuff for like veganuary, you know, January, when people think that they're gonna turn vegan with sort of no, why do people do that? Because they think it's healthier. Not necessarily. And I also haven't sort of said with all of this, I'm not going to get into the ethics of veganism, and I don't eat vegan all the time. I just generally find it easier if you do go vegan but you are buying something that's ready made. I just usually find it easier to find something that doesn't have dairy in it, obviously, because I do tend to eat lactose free. That's a whole other can of worms.